to the RavensBrew. I'm Summer, and that's Molly, and we're here to give you a scoop on something. I don't know what it is.
I have been hearing about this, so I want us to watch this. I know the story because I've read it somewhere, but I don't know if you do. So I'm excited to see what you think. So let me bring this up.
I think my house is haunted and I'm freaking out. Like, I'm literally shaking. This is my sunroom. This is where I work. I sit here every day. There's a playroom here, doors here. This is the space. I worked in here last night until about 6:30. Everything was fine. Shut my laptop. We close these doors. The dogs don't come in here at night. No one is in this room. I'm gone this morning to work. Screen shattered. This stuff down here. This hanging off. But the fucking kicker for me is that this that only goes on this shelf and only goes on this shelf ever, up here. Why? I've never put it there. I don't put it here. My phone sits there when I work. Why was that there? Here's the next bit of important information. So we're building a fence. And back here, we dug a hole. There is a rolled up carpet buried underground that we came across as we were digging this hole. Rolled up carpet. Who the fuck and why the fuck is there a rolled up carpet underground?
Have you heard about this?
No.
She posted this on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, oh my God, there's a rolled up. It probably has a body. You know, she ends up calling like the realtor that sold her the house, her and her boyfriend the house. And the realtor gets in touch with the other people that owned it and asked questions. Nothing really came about it. But what the kicker is she called the police eventually. They came out.
She did.
And the police came out 15 minutes later and said, it's too much work. We can't investigate it.
That's weird.
Later, on October 3rd, Homicide, I think it was, came out and brought canine dogs, like body sniffing dogs. And they hit on the hole.
Cadavers?
Cadaver dogs? Yeah. Like, well, what in the world? What would you do?
Move.
I mean, it sounds like her house may be a little spooky and haunted.
Okay, so like, all right, at what point would I move? Probably.
I mean, you think they might have just bought this house. Like,
that don't matter. Like, sell that shit.
She said she really wasn't concerned about the rug. She was more upset that her laptop got broken, which that was a Mac, to be fair, way overpriced, way too expensive. But that's my opinion. All y'all, I am an Apple fan, have an iPhone. Like, so don't come for me. I just don't like their computers. Sorry.
I mean, I agree. I've had 2 MacBooks myself, and they both broke relatively soon and quickly. And I've had my not MacBook for a really long time. So
same.
Coincidence.
Maybe we were on the computer more, looking at more things we shouldn't have been at the time.
No, that is not true. Not for me. Not for me.
Not for me either.
No, it's pretty weird. Like, I really don't know what to say because, like, I feel like, you know, the second there's any kind of anything going in my house, I'm going to leave.
Okay, but you didn't leave from IB. So, you guys, I think we've talked about this before in one of our episodes or podcasts or whatever. Me and Summer lived together in San Diego in Imperial Beach, California. And we had this small, dinky, but so precious. It's like one of our favorite houses we've ever lived in. It was me, her, and her 3 children in 2 bedrooms.
Like a 700 square foot house.
It might. I don't even know if it was that big. Like, that might be too much credit. Like,
no, it was 7.
Tiny.
It was tiny, but it was at least 700 square feet. I've actually seen online that I think it was like 750. But it was small.
1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, a huge backyard.
Huge backyard. It was a huge backyard, and it was
cul-de-sac.
Yep,
And we had the kids that would play
5 blocks from the
beach.
It was amazing.
And there was like the Tijuana Sanctuary, the drive-in. Like, we just loved it there. We loved driving up and down the Strand. Sorry for you non-Californians, but you have to experience it to understand what we're talking about.
There's really nothing better than the Strand. There's nothing better than Coronado. There's nothing better than Imperial Beach.
That spot, like, just has like a hold on my heart. Like, nothing will ever compare to it. Imperial Beach definitely be most places. Like, it's probably my favorite place.
Right. But we had some suspicious, unexplainable activity in our house. And
we called the police.
We called the police. We thought I don't know what we thought.
So
but
I was in we had like a hallway, and like it was like the bathroom at one end and Summer's room at the other. And then I had a door right by the bathroom, and our doors were closed. You know, she was in for the night with the kids, and I was in for the night with myself. And of course, you know, we're like room apart. We could be in each other's rooms or whatever, but we're texting. And then all of a sudden you get this smell. And
what freaked me out first was I heard footsteps. Like I heard footsteps like out in the living room, and that's what scared me and provoked me to run into your room. Like I was scared. So I ran into your room, and you were like, "Oh my gosh, what's the matter?" And I was like, "I heard footsteps." And then we started smelling like fire.
You know that,
like
it's very distinct smell. Like once you turn your heater on for the first time, it's like dusty. Like that
dusty
heater,
and like
hot smell.
Musty. Yeah, it's just not a really good smell.
We
and
never
because
use
I am
the heater. We're both like very hot-blooded. Like we have to be cold.
Hot-blooded, and I am just, you know, it has to be really cold before we're going to turn the heater on.
I mean, you better wear some sweaters and some socks.
Yeah, put some pants on.
Yeah,
but what I say. But like I heard footsteps, and then I ran into Mollie's room, and as soon as I got there, she was like, "What's the matter?" And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm calling 911!" And she called 911.
That's not what happened. We went out, and remember there was the little kid bookcase that was underneath the furnace, like where you turn it on.
The couch. The bookcase was in the hallway between me and your room.
Well, I thought that's where the thing is where you turn it on.
But by the couch.
The bookcase was like the books had been like thrown into the living room. And so she heard noises. We saw books that were not there because the house was so small. Every night before we went to bed, like we may not have been good about dishes, but we cleaned up the living room because it was just
cleaned up
small.
The living room. It was so small.
And
but like
the books were like out in the living room, and we were like, okay, you heard sounds. The heater turned on by itself. And now there are books that should not be there. You
actually had got 911 on the phone before we smelled the smell. Like I ran to your room, and you were like, "Oh my God, what's the matter?" And I was like, "I don't know. I heard footsteps, and I'm really scared." And you were like, "I'm calling 911." So you called 911, and as soon as they answered, we were both like, "What's that smell?" And like that, they sent police officers to our tiny house. But like between the time that the cops got there and like you were on the phone with 911, I went out and I had noticed that the thermostat, you know, had been like, it's like one of those things that you like push over an old timer thermostat. It had been pushed all the way over to the right, like on 100 degrees.
Like you had to purposely move it.
Yeah, you had to purposely move it.
And I don't think the kids were tall enough, really, except for Amelia.
They weren't, but they were all asleep for a couple of hours before this had happened because I was laying in bed scrolling Facebook, chatting with you. Like I walked out and it was pushed all the way to the right. And like it's not an automatic. It is definitely a very analog type system where you have to push it, and it hadn't been turned on.
Like Summer could have or we could have hit it and not noticed it. Like you had to move it like yourself.
Move it.
And
like,
the same
all
thing with
the way
books.
over.
Like the books weren't just like, here's the bookcase and it fall over. No, like they were like, it wasn't a big house, but they were like thrown from like as if you.
So the cops come and we're scared, and they're like looking through our tiny house.
Like we could have missed some. Oh yeah, you guys missed somebody in your house, or somebody missed you, and they're like, so our house was connected to like, I think the garage was added on after the house was built. That's
probably, but like, yeah, there was a garage.
It was like one of those garage doors where you had to manually lift it up, and there was like a back door that was sketchy to say the least. Like it just had a little
iron hook.
It did. I mean, anyone could have like came in
exactly,
like so
but
easily.
But the cops were like,
check the garage.
The cops were like, I guess we could like check the garage. We were like, please.
But the reason that we were nervous about the garage was because, remember, there was so much stuff in the garage that you could really hide, like super easy in our garage, because it was
right,
just,
because
like,
we had downsized from a much larger house, like a
huge 2-story,
2,500 square foot house to this
almost
little
lost 2,000 square feet. Like,
yeah, it was a lot.
somebody could easily break in and hide, and they thought we were nuts. And that is probably one of the scariest nights of my life, because
that's the scariest night of my life.
These things could not be explained by any manner. Like, I did not do it. Summer did not do it. The kids did not do it. Like, we were both in our rooms with the door closed.
Yep. Everyone was asleep except for me, and I was
except for me and
Facebook.
you. Yeah, we were both up talking and chatting. That was a really scary event, and I swear, like, I'm followed by something, because when I'm with Summer, weird things happen. It hasn't happened in your new house, though.
No,
I don't think.
But that could change, because there's
I've only
a
been
dead
to your
body
house
found just down the street.
Just to let you guys know a little bit about me and Summer, because we haven't really introduced ourselves. Me and Summer live about 3 hours apart. We are really close. We used to live, like, literally, we tried to get houses, like, across the street and down the street from each other. Like, it just didn't work out. But we did live very close.
Well,
after we had initially moved to Texas. Texas is a big state. We were close to each other, and now we're 3 hours apart. So I try to go see her, and she tries to come and see me as much as we can. When we're editing videos, when we are doing anything, like literally all day long, we are talking about this channel, how we can improve, butting heads about every opinion, because we want this to work so badly, and we want to make sure we're giving you guys the best content. It's very important to us, and what we put out is very important to us. Do you have anything to say about that, Summer?
I am very happy to be doing this channel with my best friend. I am excited, and I love every moment of it, even when we disagree. I think that this is the biggest, most fun I've ever had in my whole life. We're just getting started, so we're brand new. We've made tons of mistakes. We don't fully know what we're doing yet, but I'm having a blast.
And we have, actually, I'll go on the YouTube page today and add our email address. Send us emails about your ghost stories. Is it? Mm-hmm. Well, send us emails. Tell us about your ghost stories. Tell us a story you want us to cover. Message us. Write to us. And we'll continue to be best friends, giving you all the dark comment with all the dark comedy.
We're figuring it out.
It is very bumpy. Hey, Diddy, can we borrow some lube? Oh. Maybe some baby oil? Like, I hear you get, like, thousands of bottles. Like,
I have no quips for this.
Thank you for having a wine night with us. We've had a great time. We got to use our new wine glasses. We love them. They match.
They do, but mine's empty.
Mine is almost empty. We've had a great time with you guys tonight, and we look forward to giving you much more content.
Yep.
If you want any stories, let us know. And as always, stay curious and be mysterious. And that's the Ravens Brew for tonight. Bye.
Bye.